I'm going to make some comments because I've raised a lot of questions in the past, and sadly, I've not been successful in getting all the answers I wanted to hear in terms of, we've talked about how EMCU and Child Advocacy Center has handled thousands of cases, and I've tried to find out the disposition of those cases in terms of how many of those led to arrests, how many of those led to convictions. But I, too, like Commissioner Welsheimer, I've had folks contact me who said, that they personally have had severe family problems created because of unfounded allegations or having families getting torn apart following sometimes divorce proceedings and then allegations flowing out from that, and the percentage of the children who are removed and actually returned to families. And it's a terribly difficult responsibility for everyone who's involved in this, because I think of the cases where children are returned to families and then something horrible happens to the child, and it's a terribly difficult fine line, and I am very glad that I am not one of the people who have to make those challenging decisions. And that's why I made the motion to see if we could delay 1 week. I know timing is significant, but my understanding is the CAC, the discussion about shutting them down was going to occur at the end of March, and so I thought a 1 week delay and trying to get get some goals, objectives, and measurable criteria put in place, and also get a budget put in place would be good responsibility and would not put this in jeopardy. But if it does, I'd like to have that stated for the record, Mr. Manager, because I do want to protect the children. I want to do it at as reasonable a price as possible, and I also want to protect the families. And I've heard some numbers that, for instance, 85%, and I have pushed to get documentation for this and have not received it, in terms of families, children who are removed from families don't get returned. And if that number is even close to being accurate, it's problematical for me. So, Mr. Manager, the question I'd like to pose to you at this point